All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trade. Today is Monday, September 16th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So, first of all, doing the video, definitely obviously on the earlier side here today. So, I have a few things going on after the bell today, and honestly, this market not doing a whole lot, is it? Spiders here up 8 basis points on about 20 million shares. Yeah, 21 million shares at 215. So I don't think it's much consequence if we go up, down, or sideways here into the close. In fact, it's, basically since Friday, midday Friday, effectively we've been in pretty much like a 20-point range. So very tight action here. Market is asleep. It's on autopilot right now. Not going to make too much out of it. What I will say, though, for this week, everyone knows, obviously, FOMC. And we have Opex and Vixpiration as well. So there's going to be a lot of noise. Typically first day or two before the Fed, it's going to be quiet. We kind of expected this. I would not rule out some type of a shakeout, though. Maybe tomorrow, if we're still doing this. A lot of the time, when the market has a big run up like this, just a casual 250 points in not even 2 full days. A lot of the time when you're chopping around up here, you'll get one of those slices pretty quickly, and it'll knock out 2 or 3 supports. The dip can get bought pretty fast too, but again, I'm expecting that this week. Lots of traps, lots of noise, and lots of fake outs, shakeouts, whipsaw, you name it. So that's kind of where I'm expecting for the whole week. For me, I'm kind of just trading the ranges here. I think it's good for day trading. Swings are a little tougher. You obviously can't really chase up here. And going short is also dangerous because, we're knocking on the all-time highs. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation. But, and again, going back to whipsaw, the other big thing is that it's like, 60% priced in for 50 basis point cut, and then it's 60-40. So it's not like there's 90% odds, right? So half the market is going to be offsides. Like when, half the market is expecting the wrong thing. So we're going to see big moves here, I think, on Wednesday and probably even Thursday. It wouldn't even surprise me if we just chopped around and closed flat for the week. When it was all said and done, they're going to kill premium. It's a quarterly Opex. So, and there's going to be people gambling on trend moves, and I don't think we're necessarily going to get that. It could be wrong. I think we're going to see mean reversion here, at least in the near term. That said, upside call wall at 570, that's probably max move unless they remove that for some God knows why. I doubt they will, though. And right now it looks like, I think 555 was a level. But yeah, I'll just say 555 to 550 on SPY. Again, 57 even on SPX, and then 5500 to 5520 are supports for the cash S&P. Right now we are into a little bit of a trend line here on the triple Qs. You can see the NQ. I like it there too. By the way, contract roll today, so new contract there. But yeah, we are backing off of that, and again, we could look for higher lows here too. This wedge is going to come to a point sometime after Opex. There's a lot of them too. I mean, there's a big trend line going back to the lows from years ago. There's this trend line here, so there's a lot of converging lines here coming up into play right now. But Q's backing off of that area, and we'll see if they continue here tomorrow. You see the IWM as well in a similar spot. It is peaking above that trend line. It could probably draw it a little bit differently, but you got a little doji there, and we'll see if that comes back in tomorrow. 210 support, if it breaks out, then you got a pivot there, and then 225. But IWM actually pretty strong today, up 1/3%. Dow up half, and the Nasdaq down. So Diamond again up about half. New all-time high. Might be a new all-time closing high too by the end of the day. Yeah, it looks like it will. So strong start to the week for the Dow, although it is coming off the highs here. SMH was on the weaker side this morning. Offered a really good dip buy in Nvidia, as well as we got a nice one this morning in Tesla in the trading room. Basically caught the lows this morning. Nvidia, TSM, they all had the same look this morning too. Nice pop there. I think even Broadcom got a bid. They ended up coming back in, but Yeah, the SMH, nice V shape there, and we're just kind of going sideways. But semis on the softer side, except for Intel. So Intel finally getting a bid here up 4.5. You know, I guess it's about time. Everybody gets their day in the sun, I guess. But in any case, SMH here down 1.5. Again, off the trend line. Let's not make a ton out of it. Yeah, I'm not making really anything out of this price action at all here until we get through Wednesday at least. IGV though, I mean, this is knocking on the door here, right? Bull flag. And, you know, Oracle is just ridiculous. I think this is distribution. Just hit double top. It looks like they are buying short-dated options here and probably dumping shares in the dark pool. Pierce a double top, though. I mean, amazing move. What can you say? But it's a little done here. Adobe still inside of Friday's range. I'm just bringing this up here as they had earnings last week. That reclaimed 540. That could probably squeeze up a bit. But IGV, yeah, it's very strong. You guys know I've been liking this for a while. Dow Transport's here up 0.5%. Again, right there, hammering on that level. Close above that, repairs this chart. So, yeah. All right. 2-year, you know, rates lower across the board. Again, we talked about this Friday. The bond bulls proved it, right? You got the 10-year below 370 on a weekly close. So I'll concede that there. You know, you prove it, then you prove it. But I'm still thinking, like, I know I'm saying this a lot, but look at how hard there's, look at how all this selling here and very little reward, right? I'm thinking, you know, like, this is kind of my gut, is that we're going to spike down on FOMC, and then I think that's going to be it. That's just my gut here. I'm not in this trade. I might get into it, but again, I just see this as pretty, it just feels one-sided. A lot of this does. Dollar, we've talked about that. Maybe even oil to a degree. In the short term, anyway. All right, XHB up 1% on the day. New all-time high, new all-time closing high. What else is new? VNQ, so no evening star. And it actually firmed up by the end of the day anyway, so it technically wouldn't have been an evening star anyway. But it did hit the 618 today. So just be aware that may be getting topped out. There's a pivot up here too. And this is pumping ahead of the FOMC. It's already overbought. So if you own this, trail. XLF up 1.1. I thought the banks were crashing. KRE up 1.4. KBE up 1.35. Broker dealers all-time high, all-time closing high. Possible. Crude up 2. Still struggling with 70 though. Look at this. It got rejected pretty good intraday. Now right back up. So it got punished into the end of last week. And well, actually no, we bounced up into the end of last week rather. You're watching this for price action here. If they can't make if this can make a higher low here, like if this dives on FOMC and makes a higher low, I think this could squeeze up a bit. But we'll see. Again, I'm still kind of neutral-ish on it. XLE, that's where it stopped. That's the level it's got to get through, whatever that is. Been on here for a year. 87.11. Haven't moved that line. XOP, this kind of looks dead cat-ish. But I want to see how they firm up, if they firm up towards the end of the week, the energy sector, that is. OIH, the line in the sand's obvious, right? So that line's been there for a long time. You get back above that, essentially, you know, could make a case it's kind of like a false breakdown on the weekly. CCJ holding up, 1, 2, 3 pullback. Can do more. Maybe putting in a little W. We talked about that. Keeping that on watch. NJ is a little bit softer there, but they're still hanging in there. Nat gas up 2 3/4. That's just hammering on 240. I think that's going to 250. Maybe higher. Also a W pattern. Dollar, we talked about kind of a triple bottom here. Feels a little contrived, but if this consolidates enough down here, it can go lower. I still think it needs to do a lot more if it's going to try that, though. Gold fractionally lower, no problems there. Silver, pause day after a big rally, no problems. Platinum, pause day after, well, pullback day after a big rally. Palladium, pause day after a big rally. It's actually still green. No problems with the metals. The only thing I don't like is that they're pumping ahead of the FOMC. It leads me to believe there'll be like a sell the news. That doesn't mean they're going to crash or anything. It just means that this particular run may be over. Copper above 426. So we're above 422.8. So that's the red bar. That's negated. You got a higher low. Yeah, I think it can go higher, which is funny because everything about the economy is saying the opposite. But the chart's sound is. Bitcoin pullback day here. A lot of chop, a lot of noise inside. I did a whole video on Bitcoin over the weekend. Check that out. Probably like 9 minutes long. Kind of like short, medium, and longer term view. But again, everything in here is noise. It did reclaim the 50, but then it wasn't able to hold it. Want to see a higher low here to indicate that we're going to go up and test 63, 64. If not, then, that puts the, 50,000 back in play. But again, all this here is just big basing to me. A pullback day there. Again, spiders here. Got about an hour and a half to the close. Again, like I said, I don't really expect there to be much consequence one way or the other here. It's really just kind of, it looks like a pin, like 560 to 563 area. Burning out some premium here as there's really not a lot of participation. Nobody with any money is trading this here. So I call it low grade, like low quality chop. There's not a lot to be had out of here. You don't want to be over trading in this. It's gonna, you're gonna get yourself chopped up. Just trade the open. Look for good setups when the algos are still awake, and then if things quiet down like this, you want to kind of step on the sidelines. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.